Hey there, all you subcultured folks. I'm Raphael, and welcome to Subculture Times. Today's segment is Under the Radar Games. Under the Radar Games is meant to highlight those underappreciated games you might have missed out on playing bigger AAA mainstream titles. The highlight of this Under the Radar segment is Primordia. Developed by Wadjet Eye Games, Primordia is a post-apocalyptic point-and-click adventure featuring two main characters, Horatio No-Built version 5 and Crispin Horatio Built version 1.
Almost there. One more setting.
As far as gameplay goes, Primordia is your typical point-and-click adventure. The puzzles are extremely difficult, sometimes tedious, and sometimes you have no idea what the hell you're doing.
There's no time for that. 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 There's no time for that.
However, it's not necessarily the puzzles that make this game great. It's the atmosphere of the world, the atmosphere of the Primordium. The Primordium is a new age of robots. Man has ceased to exist and is only a myth. Like most adventures, Primordia starts in a very simple manner. Horatio and Crispin are both trying to rebuild their ship, called the Unique. Only a second later, a rogue robot, later identified as Scraper, comes in and steals their power core.
I think he wants the power core, boss. Stop right there. This ship belongs to me.
Forfeit. Enemy. Plunder.
I don't think he's too keen on private property. Get away from the power core.
Forfeit.
The power core is essential as it not only powers their entire ship, it also recharges our two robot protagonists. Now, of course, they don't take this too lightly. They pick themselves back up and they go into the dunes to look for Scraper and retrieve their power core. Once Horatio and Crispin leave the protection of their ship, they see the remnants of humanity, and it's fascinating how Wadjet Eye Games questions what humanity is, because there are no more people left. Man is only a myth, and they only exist in myth whispers in the back of the processors of those robots who still believe that man is the creator, the perfect machine, the great builder. One of the greatest nuances of this game derives from the interaction between Horatio, Crispin, and the robots left over in the world. Some seem misplaced, and some are just collecting rust.
Answer me these questions three, that I may know thou art faithful still. Why are we here?
Because man created us.
Indeed. What is man?
A perfect machine.
Thou answerest silly, but the simplest answer may be the truest, and here thou speakest true. I shall question thee on that matter no more, but tell me, wanderer, dost thou know thyself? Who art thou?
I am what I am.
An elliptic answer, I wonder, and untrue. Man alone is his own essence. Thy essence comes from man. Know thyself, then return.
The robots, these robots that we see now, they were issued to maintain the Earth. However, like many theological discussions today, we have two spectrums of opposing views, and we see the collision and conflict of this spectrum once Horatio and Crispin reach Metropol, the city of lights, city of robots controlled by Metromind, a 1984 Big Brother-esque Orwell dystopian future. Metropol is the last testament to humanity. There is only one law, and that is Metromind's law. And in Metromind City, it's either you listen or you leave.
Welcome to Metropol, the city of glass and light.
Can you tell me?
This one is not programmed to respond to queries. Welcome to Metropol, the city of glass and light. Metromind greets you with open arms and the promise of energy and shelter. You are safe. Records indicate an outstanding assessment of 5 megacycles. 1 megacycle will now be redeemed.
What did you just do to him?
This one is not programmed to respond to queries. Unauthorized literature detected.
Let go of him. Hey!
Metropol isn't the promise, however. In fact, it breaks the promise. The City of Light comes at a price. Like the other robots in the city, Horatio has become another circuit in the motherboard that is Metromind. However, as a player, you get to discover how the city became so corrupted, and then you witness and learn of the discourse between the robots who need power and the all-powerful figurehead Metromind.
What are you doing here?
Waiting.
For what?
My bus.
I'm pretty sure the bus isn't coming.
It will come.
Your bus is a burning wreck about 2 blocks from here.
It will come. I must go home. Metromind will take me home.
Another fascinating aspect of Primordia is the use of humor. The use of humor against the backdrop of this dark, foreboding city is very well done in Primordia.
Or we could just go to Metropol, city of glass and light. Free energy for one and all.
Don't believe everything you hear. Metropol is trouble. But if you want to go, you've got free will in a maglev unit.
With that guilt subroutine you put in me, I wouldn't even make it halfway.
Actually, with a 10% charge, you wouldn't even get that far. So I suggest we get the generator working.
You and your projects.
Yes, Crispin, the free-willed, magnet-levitating sidekick with no arms. He's going to make the point of having no arms throughout the entire story, and every time it's hilarious as the last. Not only will the humor in Primordia give players something to laugh at, but it also highlights a more important theme, the theme of humanity. Primordia revolves around humanity, and though these robots, mechanical beings, built long ago just to make man's life better, they emphasize what humanity is about: control, greed, hunger, ambition, and friendship. Of course, we see the latter theme more embodied between Horatio and Crispin, though some of the puzzles can be difficult. Well worth playing and chugging through them to see what happens to Horatio and Crispin. And there's one thing about this game that's really amazing, is the branching ending. There are multiple endings. Each ending isn't tacked on either. It's not just like, I'm going to give you a slightly better ending than the one over here. Each ending is deep and meaningful. Some of them are even sad, quite sad. Primordia is definitely one of those under-the-radar games. Seeing as it came out at the end of 2012, it got swept up underneath bigger games, probably like Far Cry and Halo. However, this game was greenlighted through Steam's community choice, so it doesn't seem so hopeless. For a game, a narrative, an epic storyline such as this, Primordia is a very fun game with an impactful, deep storyline. Well, I hope you guys play the game, and maybe someday you'll learn to fly too. The last bit was reference to one of my personal favorite endings of Primordia. Alright, this is Raphael, signing off. Stay tuned for Subculture.